Longevity, understanding, and integrity. Me and you, we on the road. Gradually, self-discovery. Got a lot to learn in this life, and I'm ready. Gonna do it in my people like mine. How she gonna be when you need me? How she gonna be? A reboot.
Good afternoon. Yes, looks like I'm gonna have to do some resizing here. I appreciate y'all. How you doing, Lena? Go ahead and talk a little bit while we get you straightened around here, and then we're gonna be good to go. Go ahead and jump on in and tell us a little something about what's going on with you, sis. Oh, hold on just a second, y'all. Hold on just a second. I'm not hearing you. So hold on just a second. We're going to resize here in just a moment, and then we will get you rolling. Just a second. And we're back. Can you all hear me well? Can everybody hear me? Okay, Marlena, I'm still trying to hear you. Well, let's see. Keep talking to me, sis. Keep talking to me. Okay, Lena, hold on just a second. Shelly, say something to us this morning. Shelly? I think Shelly Welly is frozen. Oh, Lord. Okay, we're having some technical difficulties here. If you all will just hold on just a second, we'll be right back. All right, let's try this once more and again. Saints, here we go one more time, and we're going to try to bring everybody in to the stream. And let's see if we can see who we can see. Here we go. So we got, let's try. I'm back. There we go. Let's try and see if we can get another one. Oh, Shelly's back.
Can you hear me? I'm here.
We can hear you. Let's see if we can get. Ow! Ow! Thank you, jeez. Ow! Bless God. Bless God. Say something to me, Lena.
Jesus.
Ow! 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 Thank you, Jesus. Thank you.
Oh, wait. Ain't God good?
God is good. Shelly, did you freeze on me again? I think Shelly Welly froze on me again. Lord Jesus. Okay, there we go. There we go. She's moving. She's moving. All right, Lena, we are here, baby. And listen, that's what lions do. We just don't give up. We come back. We come back. We come back.
When we have issues, we do what? We reboot.
We reboot. Reboot. Okay, go ahead.
How's everybody doing today? I already asked the chat. I checked on the chat while we was dealing with our technical difficulties. The chat is good. I want to know how you two ladies are doing this morning. Or no, it's the evening.
Go ahead. Okay, I was going to let Shelly go first, but I'm doing great. I am doing absolutely magnificent. I am well. I'm doing good. Glad to be here. Been waiting on this for a minute, and we're finally here. We're here. We're here. And I can't wait to hear what y'all got to say. Go ahead, Shelly.
I was saying it's definitely the afternoon, but I'm doing well. It's been a busy week. We are preparing for more travel over here in my house, but things are great. I feel great. You guys look great. I'm hoping for some great conversation today. If I didn't use the word great enough just now.
Everybody's had a good week. I've already posted in the chat what our topic for today is going to be. But let me just say it out loud, because, you know, when you say words, you give it power. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is our topic. We learn from the past. We live in the present, and we plan for the future. Somebody, listen, I'm feeling that.
Yes.
Oh, we're starting today off with a quote. I'm going to say it one more time because I think it's really good. Learn from the past, live in the present, and plan for the future.
And this week I have already had some engagement with this topic. Before we even get into it, the Facebook memories have been on one this week. Okay, I don't know if anybody else does this, but my Facebook memories embarrass the life out of me. So I got on there, I think like 2 days ago, and there was one memory from when I was 15, and I was like, oh, just at home, chilling with the fam. And I tagged my location to my house on Facebook.
Shelly.
Like, do you want to be kidnapped? Do you want to be murdered, 15-year-old Shelly? What was wrong with you?
Were you trying to
mind you,
were you trying to get a house party popping, or were you feeling free? Did you feel, what were you feeling at the time, Shelly?
Listen, 15-year-old Shelly, a whole different person. I have no idea what she was trying to do, but I had to delete it. And I don't know if anybody else has had to do that. Like, go back and when you read Facebook memories, you're like, okay, we're going to just get rid of that one. But I had to delete it because not only do my parents still live in this house, so like now their location's just out there for the whole internet, but also it's just like, how embarrassing that 15-year-old me was just out here like at home eating dinner with the fam, tagged where I'm at, like all the serial killers come over here, ready for you.
So if the address was not attached to the post, would you still have deleted it?
No, I would have. If I had just been like, oh, you know, at home eating dinner with the family, I think that would have been like a typical 15-year-old status, but I don't know. It's like I was just trying to take the extra mile of being like, and I'm right here. Axe murderers. Like, that's the first thing that came to my head.
Because you felt protected. And you know what? You probably can fight. That's why you was like, this is where I'm at. Anybody wants to try me, honey.
You
Pull up.
But
No, your girl was just vulnerable.
listen, these Facebook memories will take you out. They will take you out because it'll remind you of exactly what was going on years ago. You know, the stuff you heal from, the stuff you're trying to let go. You ain't trying to, like, out of mind, out of sight. But then here comes Facebook memories, bringing all that mess back up. And now you're like, oh. Hey, do you memories that come up and you're just like, what is going on?
You know, no, not really, because I have always been Facebook cautious. Now, I have had memories that'll be like, wow, you know, as far as different season, different times, and people in your life at that given point in time, and be like, wow, it just kind of brings me back. And the memory is not necessarily a bad memory. It's just like, sometimes, I mean, I've literally gotten places where it'd be like, oh, I forgot about that person, or I forgot about this, or I forgot about that. Not anything that I really regret, though, because I'm not going to put my business out on Facebook streets. And so that's just me. You're not going to get all of my 411.
The shade that Aunt Jean is throwing.
No. I'm not trying to throw shade at you, Shelly. I'm just saying, I love you, baby. I love you, but you were not going to get my digits, my 411, my home address. It just wasn't going to happen. Not on Facebook. So, you know, I don't have those kinds of things that I go back and regret at all.
Some people think that
or like
it is not in existence. If you can't see it, if you don't put it on, it didn't happen because nobody else saw it.
No, really, they do. And I you know what, I'm not gonna judge it because I was there. I was, as you guys can tell from my memories of me tagging my address.
Yeah,
I was there. I was one of those people who used to be like, I'm eating cereal at 9 a.m. I'm eating Subway for lunch. Like, what was I doing? Why did everything have to be on the internet?
I'm trying to figure out, what did people do with their time before the internet? What was y'all doing?
We read books.
Yeah,
we read books.
And talking on the telephone.
We were intellectual.
Talking on
the telephone. There were some people that you would have sworn that telephone was an appendage that had grown out of their head. There were those folks, they lived on that telephone. And God forbid, you know, when they came out with two-way calling and call waiting, and nothing would burn me up more than the person that would put me on hold while they talked to 2 or 3 other people and then kept you on hold for 10 minutes. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm that one, baby. You put me on hold, I'm hanging up. But that's
how they used to.
You know what I liked about telephones, though, that social media doesn't really have?
What?
Back in the day, you could, like, 3-way call. You could, like, call your friend and be like, all right, I'm going to call Michael on 3-way to see how he feels about you. And then your friend mute. But were you ever that friend that forgot to mute?
Yeah,
that was the best.
I was the friend who forgot to mute. Yeah, because it'd been went right over my head like, oh, I was trying to get some information. Well, everybody.
Right. Yeah, that was me. I was the friend who forgot to mute a couple of times.
Look, Shelly Thunder. Is that you, Shelly?
No, that's one of our friends, Shelly Thunder.
No, that's our listener, Shelly.
She's
relating to me, so I'm here.
Yes.
I want to read it. Shelly Thunder said, Facebook, how about you can't even get it in real life? Good luck. People are out there that's not completely true now. That's interesting.
Shelly said, you're going to have to find me because I'm not giving it to you.
You hear me? And then it's like, if you see somebody, like I'm friends with people on Facebook, but if I see them in person and I haven't seen them in years, but I'm still friends with them on Facebook, I really don't need to like catch up with them because I've seen it all on Facebook. So it's like, it's kind of different. It's different from how we used to deal with stuff then and how we deal with it now. But I like the fact that the memories come up on Facebook or do they do that on Instagram? I don't think so. But on Facebook they do it, and you kind of have to look back.
They do, but I feel like Facebook, since it's older, it's like, besides MySpace, it's like the oldest social media. You get more memories.
You remember? Yeah. Did you say MySpace?
I think I've always had Instagram.
Did you just say MySpace?
Yes. MySpace was the joint. I had the stars falling on my profile.
Yeah. Gotcha.
You know the song. Mariah Carey, "We Belong Together" playing in the background.
MySpace was dope. It's MySpace. I think it's still around actually.
It is. Somebody has taken over my MySpace account the last time I went out there and looked. And yeah, so I think, everybody left. It was like Facebook. What's Facebook? And I remember people were talking down. Oh, don't nobody go on Facebook. And then the next thing you know, I want to say MySpace went dead literally overnight. It was like you went to bed last night and you woke up the next day and Facebook was dead. So, I mean, MySpace was dead and everybody had gone over to Facebook. But yeah, I was one of those. I changed my skins regularly. I did did y'all change your skins? Did all of that.
All the time. I would go in. You didn't use MySpace?
I was asking Jean, why wasn't we friends on MySpace?
You were probably underage, child. You were a minor.
I had a page.
A different time.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't have, good and well, you didn't set your birth year to 1993.
It was a little.
You had 18 to be on my.
Yep, it was in the 80s, but it's okay. You if I wanted it, if you want it, you gotta go get it.
See.
What were you gonna say, Shelly? I didn't mean.
No, that's what I was saying. I think that that's probably why a lot more people were on Facebook too, because I don't think you had to be 18 to be on Facebook.
Honey, I don't know, because actually my friend, I don't
know, I don't remember.
It took me a while to get into the whole social media thing. So my friend from high school made me a Facebook page. And that's how my Facebook page got started. If she would never made it, I probably wouldn't have one to this day. Well, I might have one now, but
wow.
But initially, I think Facebook was for college students, and that's where they were coming up with all the college names and da. And then it spilled over into the general public. But as I recall, initially Facebook was designed for college students in mind. It wasn't designed for everybody. And then it just went viral and everybody, they just dropped MySpace and went straight to Facebook. But I do believe it was originally just for college students.
Yeah, I did know that they said that in the movie.
Yeah.
I remember, this is a little story for everybody to know. I remember the first time that I ingested an edible, and it was a very long ride, but like when I first had it, I was a little bit like, had to get used to it. But like once I got into the high or whatever, I remember being in a Walmart parking lot with my sister. Or no, it was with our friend named Remy. And I remember sitting in that car. And if you've ever been high, you know that you think about things like in a weird way. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, and this is literally what I said. I said, so Facebook is a book of face.
No, for real.
Tiffany. And I was like, yo, it's a book of faces. That's what it is. So on Facebook, I always think back to when I was first get edibles and I was jacked up and I was thinking about Facebook. It's a book of faces. And I thought that was funny.
Now, this is going to be a stupid question for somebody that has not done drugs or edibles. Do you really get high from edibles?
Girl.
Oh, yeah.
Girl.
Absolutely.
Honey. Child.
Just make sure you got somewhere to sit down for a few days.
You better
if you ever want to explore.
In a safe place. When you first do edibles, you better make sure you're around some people who really care about you. Honey,
100%. 100%.
Them edibles will take you.
Matter of fact, just go to bed. Just go lay in bed, get you a good Netflix movie.
Yeah.
She's talking to faces in Facebook, in the book. She's talking to faces in the book. So, come on, y'all. I mean, really? It did you like that, Lena? It took you out like that. For real, for real.
Girl, I was messed. I remember being the first time I had these little bitty cookies. This small, Amos Famous cookies. I had one Amos Famous cookie, and I had one little miniature piece of chocolate. And I was like, these are so good. Maybe I'll have another. but something told me you better not take another one. And I said, like 30 minutes later, I was like, okay, I'm not really feeling anything. 2 hours later, in the gas station, I remember
2 hours later, you got the remote.
Off of Truman Road, and I literally cannot drive because I have to sit there and let the high come down because all I can do is sit. I'm so high. All I can do is sit. And I remember seeing the train in my rearview mirror, and it was going by in slow motion. It was in 3D, and I remember like that's all.
Mel said she sees dead people when she eats edibles.
So me and Mel, we need
No way, Mel.
Me and Mel, we just gonna watch. We're not gonna indulge because it's not for me.
Okay. Okay.
It's a great experience, and I'm, I say try it once, be in a safe place, but try it once, whatever. But
that's hilarious.
Funny thing in back to it, in that time in the past, I was very like, let's try this, let's try that. And I'm still like that now, but I was more so back then. But I want to know, what do you guys, when you hear the word or when you think about the past, what do you start to feel, or what do you automatically think about when somebody starts saying, learn from the past? What do you automatically start thinking about?
Shelly? Oh, did we lose Shelly? Okay, I'm gonna fill in until we get back. And I'm looking at, listen, Kim Possible said somebody told her a story about an edible. They couldn't figure out how to go to the bathroom after eating an edible.
I believe it.
Oh my God. When you talk about learning from the past, and I'll ask you, what did you feel you learned from that experience from your past? Let me flip the script on you and say, what did you feel like you learned from the past, even from that experience?
From that experience?
Yes. How did you learn from the past?
I learned that, people downplay stuff. Got the edibles from. They was like, oh, you'll be fine, da-da-da-da-da-da. But you know what? You have to take people's life experience into perspective when they give you advice.
Yes.
Okay? Now, the person who told me that I was going to be okay was that edible eater, avid smoker. So if they take an edible, their body has a tolerance already built up. Me, the more so like, smoke here, smoke there, it's going to really affect my body because my body has not built up a tolerance to it.
Okay.
So when I take advice from what I've learned from that situation, and when I take advice from people, I consider their perspective of life and kind of what they do, and kind of take it with a grain of salt. Yes. So, and actually, this used to happen to me all the time because for some reason I was always around smokers when I was like a new adult. And so I will always be smoking with these professional smokers. I will be super high and everybody else is just cool, just calm, collected. And here I am trying to figure out how to cross my fingers like this and look normal.
Okay. Okay.
Something else I learned, is just to, see the perspective and see, everything's not gonna, you're not gonna react the same to what other people react to.
Got you. That
are from my past.
Oh Lord. I'm trying to fix your face here, Lena. We lost one and it kind of threw us off a little bit. There we go. I'm trying to make sure we got you in there good. I think y'all tell me, did I get her in there good, y'all? Did I get her in good? Let's take this other one out. Oh no, that's not the one I want out. Let's take that one out. Okay, so we just you and I are gonna chat for a second here until we can get my girl back. But so that's what you learned from that experience, and that's what you learned from your past. Got you. I'm gonna take myself out. You go ahead and talk for just a second, though, Lena, and we're gonna try to get Shelly back in the studio. I'm gonna take myself out, but they can hear you, and you're rolling fine.
Okay, I want to read this. I would like to read this comment from it's Valerie Irvin. She said, "I saw 3 of me, past, present, and future. No more edibles for me, honey. I'm with you. No more edibles for us because guess what? We can't handle it, and it's fine. It's a beautiful thing when you realize some stuff is not for you. It's not. So." Hey, we're on the same page there. You know, I like looking back on the past, and I'm more so of an analytical thinker. I analyze every single thing. So I'd like to look back on past Marlena and see kind of, you know, what her mindset was and why she did some of the things she did and how she's grown. And I am speaking about myself in a third person because I feel like the person that I was 10 years ago, or even 5 years ago, even 3 years ago, it was a totally different person. But I believe that this person that I am now has been birthed from those younger versions of myself. Shelly, can you hear me? Do you do things like that? Do you analyze, your past?
Yeah.
And
I absolutely do. And I think that's a big reason why I do go into my Facebook memories a lot, just to see how much I have evolved. Like, yeah, Shelly from 10 years ago, she's not even here. I wouldn't even imagine posting my current location on social media today. Like, that's crazy. It is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And usually I saw a post on Instagram and it's so me. I saw a post on Instagram that said that if I tag a location, I'm gone. Like if I tag, like say I was at Spinner's ice cream shop on Instagram, I'm gone. I'm not still there. Don't pull up thinking you're gonna see me.
Oh Lord, well, what's the point of posting it if you don't want people to come see it?
Because I want people to know where I got the ice cream from.
Mm-hmm.
Like this cute picture of this ice cream. It came from Spinner's, but I'm not at Spinner's anymore. So, Mr. Psychopath creeping on my page, you can't find me there.
I mean, I feel like if we're supposed to be a age of connection and we have all these ways of, tag your location and tell people where you are and let's actually connect.
And find a psycho. Now, this is what I will say to that. Now, I do have some peers my age, so this isn't just for young people, Shelly. And I really wasn't trying to show shade because the reality of it is you weren't the only one that was giving out information. So I have some friends that made the love connection. I have some family members that made the love connection over the internet. And 9 times out of 10, just like Mel said, they were stalkers. These jokers were crazy. This one joker, he was in someplace, another state. I'm not going to say because I don't want to put nobody on blast. But he came from another state halfway across the country, and she heard a doorbell and opened the door, and that joker was standing on her doorstep. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. So that's all I'm saying. That kind of blast from the past. Number one, you better not show up on my doorstep, and you were not invited. So you're going to be standing at the door just looking at the door because you're not coming in.
But is that not romantic? Does that not show that he wants
romantic?
Does that not, has the romance left everybody? Look at how Gene is looking at me. Is that not romantic on any level? Is that just completely stalkerish?
That's completely stalkerish.
She put her agent.
You showed up at my door.
Are you saying that she put her information on there?
I'm throwing shade. Now, you know what? I don't know whether or not she actually gave him the address, whether he actually tracked that down. I mean, because that's the other thing. Even when you start talking about, Shelly, when you said when you get that location posted, you've already gone from there, because some people will track you down by the location and show up or whatever. So I don't know how that joker got her information. I don't necessarily think, but now I don't know, because sometimes we do some stuff we don't want to admit that we really did that. We don't want to say I gave somebody my address. Now I don't think this joker was FBI and had access to intimate files of information that he tracked her down. I think,
but he could have done something something as simple as just searching her Facebook. The horrible thing about, I guess Facebook is good and bad, but the horrible thing about Facebook is you can go on somebody's profile and type in a date, and it'll bring up every status they ever posted on that date from every year. So like if you type in July 25th from the beginning of when they had Facebook all the way up until July 25th, 2021 will show up.
Well, baby, I'm not putting my address. Now, my church address, come on here. We are fellowshipping at such as... And even that, you got to take that with consideration because, honey, stalkers will show up at church. Jokers are crazy out in these streets. So, you know, no, I don't know how he got the address, but he would not have any way, shape, or form raised my eyebrow that it was romantic. Not here.
Wait, what is it? BCD mom said not romantic at all.
Not.
And then Shelly Thunder said he'd be left standing there looking homeless.
I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to get in your car and go back to from whence you came because you ain't coming up in here.
Listen, I like a little bit of initiative, okay? If maybe not on the first time or before we've met, but let's say we've met, we've dated a few times, you know, and we have shared our information to where I know where you live, you know where I live, and somebody shows up on my doorstep with some flowers, that's gonna be nice, no? Am I tripping?
Not necessarily.
You're tripping. No. You're tripping. You're tripping. No. Lena, we're trying to look out for you.
But I know a lot of sisters that think that's romantic stuff, and they get in with these stalkerish boyfriends and these. I'm gonna say relationships because it doesn't just have to be boyfriend. There are LGBTQ that got stalkerish, crazy people in relationships. So if you got a stalkerish person, they just a stalker. So at the end of the day, I'm like, that stuff ain't cute. Come on, Rebel. Rebel said, "Honey, you like serial killers."
You're not gonna go there.
Let's just live by the precedent. If you're gonna show up on my doorstep, I need to know your social security number.
What?
Because I need to be able to give it to my mom, so that when you show up on my doorstep with a knife, my mom knows who to hunt down.
Now, I know you're being facetious there, Shelly, because surely y'all not giving social security numbers, telephone numbers, addresses. Surely y'all ain't doing that out here in these here streets.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we should have that deep of a connection before you think you can show up on my doorstep.
Nancy Jackson said, I like initiative too, but don't show up. Pay to have flowers delivered to me. That's romantic, LOL. But he still got the address.
Well, if he's having them delivered, he still got your address. You be laying in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden your window start cracking open, and here he come. Somebody said, I think it was Royal Confession, said it's coochie snatchers out here.
Hey, Gene.
Yes.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Hide your everything.
Hide your everything, especially your goodies, because somebody's after them.
Hide everything.
I got to unshade.
I don't know. Is that like an old school thought where you just want somebody to show up on your door?
No.
Lena.
No.
Everybody's not a serial killer, okay? Some people are genuine and nice, and sometimes you can kind of just, you know, if I go out on a date with somebody, I'm going to text all the information I have on them to my mama or my sister or my friend. If I don't want nobody to know, you know, what's going on, I'll text to a friend.
Just confess it, baby. Just confess it.
Sometimes, you know, but sometimes you don't, you know, if it's late, if you trying to, you know, have a little good time.
I got you, baby. I got you.
And the information.
As my daddy said.
So we're talking about you're talking about a sneaky link.
Is that what? Yes, that's what it's called now, a sneaky link.
I don't know. That's what y'all call it, a sneaky link.
Now, I will say I have friends that will drop their location in the middle of the night. I'll be dead asleep. 2:00 in the morning rolls around, and such Tiffany will say, one of my friends, will just drop me their location and be like, call me in 45 minutes and act like it's an emergency.
Now, my daddy said ain't nothing open after 2:00 but legs. That's what my daddy told me. Ain't nothing open after 2:00 but legs. If you dropping link, you dropping low. So now, drop it low and spread it wide. Now, come on now, 2 o'clock. Who's dropping links at 2 o'clock? That's all I'm saying. Part the waters, Lena. Part the waters. Now, y'all just might as well keep it. Y'all ain't fooling nobody here.
Like to say that
For the single people, it happens.
people work.
For the single people, the married people too.
Say this. People work at nighttime. They be up at night. And Rebel Link said legs and Taco Bell. The workers at Taco Bell got to get to work.
That's the only thing that's open at night, Lena, is the legs and Taco Bell.
Walmart used to be 24 hours. That was open all night.
Well, some of y'all's coochies is open 24 hours. That's all. I mean, we still got to deal with it when y'all start dropping addresses and telephone numbers and all of this kind of stuff. There's something else going on here, beloveds.
Listen, I've met with a guy before at nighttime and not have part the waters. Okay, some people are night owls. Some people chill at night. It doesn't always have to be sexual. That's all I'm saying. And just because the sun ain't out, don't mean that it's on some other stuff. Now, most of the time it is. I'm gonna be real, but not all the time. That's all I'm saying.
Well, but now wait. Okay, so we talk about learning from the past. Because I'm gonna say this now, that situation may have been the first time after hours. It was, let's just sit and talk. But now that's with the intention that by the time we do this 2 or 3 times, it's gonna be a partner of the waters, Lena. It's gonna be a partner of the waters in there somewhere. More times than not, let y'all just some chummy friends and y'all just hanging out. And then if you talking about folks that, we dropping numbers and giving addresses and all of this kind of stuff. Now, y'all gonna have to help the mother out. Help the mother out.
Oh Lord. Listen, it's gonna be the same. If you're hanging with somebody at nighttime, 3 days they expect some. It's gonna be the same. Daytime, 3 days they're gonna expect the relationship to move a little further.
Okay,
maybe
I hear
sex a little bit. So I just want to say, as a night owl, when I first started working at night, I didn't realize that it's a whole nother world. At nighttime, it's people who stay up at night, they talk on the phone at night, you do things at night, and it's just like in the daytime, except for it's in the nighttime. So after doing that, I realized that everything in the nighttime does not mean that it's sexual or is bad, or that it's not bad, but just like sexual, or, it's a whole nother world.
I agree. What you think, Shelly? Come on now. Now you're a married woman with children, so you might have a little bit of a different scenario. So,
No, I totally know what she's talking about. There are people who just do their regular daily activities at night instead of during the day. But I also understand the perception of nothing's open after 2 besides legs, because it's like you're doing your regular daily activities, but you're not doing your nighttime activities during the day. So that means you're just knocking everything out in one time frame.
Why are you not doing your nighttime activities during the day?
I mean, could be, but that's just not. I don't know. I feel like it's not the move. Some people could be.
Wait, Royal Confession said 2 a.m. I ain't saying you loose, but you've been under more sheets than the KKK.
That's all I'm saying.
I said not KKK.
The KKK, baby. The KKK. That's the under the sheets.
And I want to know how many of these people have worked overnight. That's what I would like to know, because it's a whole different world. We have a misconception about nighttime.
You do work. You do understand nighttime work. So I'm a acquiesce. Teach us, Lena. Teach us.
Kind of switch
No,
it.
I absolutely.
Go ahead, Shelly.
I was just saying that I do understand nighttime work. I used to work a 3rd shift at a construction site doing security patrol. So I know, but I either went home and went to sleep, or I went home to somebody's house.
Oh.
Well,
the activities are still happening.
activities are still happening. That's all I'm saying.
The
And
activities are still happening.
and I have to come to this element, Lena, because we started on this about stalkerish behavior. Stalkerish. Now, when you ask me, have I learned anything from my past? Let me say this. This is one thing that I have to say that I have learned. Thank you for following Wolfman57 and welcome to Reboot. We're glad to have you. This is what I'm saying. Now, I did learn this when you talk about stalkerish. I have learned, and hear me well when I say this, y'all, particularly you young lions, you young, beautiful lions. And Shelly, don't get it twisted. They don't care that you married and got kids. They still gonna come after you.
Well,
I'm just saying, some folk don't care. And then we got thruples and everything else going on up in here. So, whatever. But I will say this. I have learned personally that when you get people that just come up on you, whether it's internet, whether it's in person, and you just met them and they act like you are the best friend and the best person they ever made, something ain't right. Have y'all met those types of people? Oh, you haven't? Well, let me tell you that you'll find them on Facebook. You say, "Hey, how you doing?" And then the next thing they know, you my best friend. Please come over. Do this, do that. Listen, I'm gonna tell you what. When you encounter, learn from my past, so you don't have to walk this journey. Those are stalkerish type people. They may not show up at your house with the flowers or the whatever, but every time you turn around, they right here. You understand what I'm saying? And we just met, and they telling people like this is my very best friend in all the world. Listen, y'all, when y'all encounter them kind of people, learn from my past. Those are the folk that got stalkerish down in they shondo. And they may be a little undercover with it at first, but honey, them sheets come off. And the next thing you know, I'm like, listen, baby, you are imbalanced. And that's a real story. That's real stuff I have experienced. And even as being out and about on the ministry field, I'll be someplace preaching, and the next thing I know, they blowing up my phone, and all that's some crazy stuff. And I mean to tell you, watch for that kind of behavior, because I learned from my past. If they stick to you like white on rice, and you've only seen them 2 times, something ain't right.
I have encountered people like this, and I've also had to learn this, but I'm a little more open to it, because I do think that it's an option for people, a possibility for people just to click. Sometimes you just click with people naturally. And, nowadays, interactions is a little less frequent. So if you meet somebody and you just click with them, maybe they don't have a best friend already, and they just automatically know, okay, I want to pursue that type of relationship with you. But I'm going to agree. I've come in contact with people like this, and it is usually does not end well, either whether it be a friendship or relationship or whatever. So,
Lena, you turned that thing around. You did turn that thing around. And I see somebody saying they coming from my oil. I think that was Shelly Thunder. I hear you, baby. But I'm like a truck driver. Run, Forrest, run. Because I'm telling you, I've seen too many times where, come on, Brother Damon. I've seen too many times where these folk are really twisted. And I'm not joking. And so it's like, I understand the oil that's on my life. I get that. But then there's a different dynamic when it's just like completely overwhelming. It's almost like where you would think it would just be a trickle of water coming in. It turns into a whole tsunami. You know what I'm talking about, Shelly? Do you have any idea of what I'm trying to describe here? For real, for real.
I mean, I don't know exactly what you're talking about in that respect, but when you say that the people who come to you and they automatically want to be your best friend, there's never anything good. I mean, I've had experiences where somebody's like, "Oh, let's connect, and then I show up and they're trying to get me to sell Arbonne or Avon or Amway, and I'm just like,
not the salesman.
I thought we really had something. With me, I don't know if it's because I'm a Libra or what, but I'm always looking for some type of social connection, somebody to have a conversation with or kick it with or get drinks with. So it frustrates me when I'm like, okay, let me do my makeup, find a cute outfit. I found a new friend. Me and her are going to go have drinks. And I get there and she's like, yeah, I work work for this really great company. I just want to be like, check, please. I'm gonna get out of here because why do you do this to people?
Ellie, I have a listen. This is so funny because you have to watch salesmen because their whole thing is to make you feel comfortable so that they can sell you something or whatever. Listen, I realize this because every time I go to a car dealership and I buy a car or somebody around me has bought a car, when I come in contact with that salesman, I absolutely love these people. I usually leave the car dealership thinking, can I spark a friendship with this person? Because they just so cool and they just make you, it's an art. And so I have to tell myself,
please do.
This is a salesman.
Please do.
And this is what he's doing. So you have to be careful because there's people like that everywhere now because they got all time.
The number one rule in sales, every sales job I've ever had, the number one rule they tell you is the first thing you have to do before you even introduce your product is you have to build a rapport. You have to establish a friendship.
They establish a friendship with me every time. And my little gullible self always end up paying $20,000 over the price of the car. They just really engulfed me like this. My last car, I just bought a Trax, a 2018 Trax. And the car salesman, literally, I was like, I want to be friends with this man. Like, he really like just roped me in, and now I got the loan. So it is what it is.
Now I want to go to
you find yourself wanting to go back up there and ask about their kids. Like, I know I bought my car 3 months ago, but how's the family?
Exactly. I got his number, and I have to stop myself because this new cars in the game. They don't even call you no more. They text you. This is the APR. And I have to stop myself because I have to know. I just go back and look at that loan amount and be like, you know what? He is not a friend.
He's not your friend. He's a salesman. Now, I want to go back to Miss Stephanie, but there are people that's what they do. They're excellent manipulators and they're excellent salespeople, even in relationships. So Miss Stephanie P said, I've seen people do that with my daughter. And I've seen more of it with the younger generation. It wasn't, I don't know if it was as prevalent as it is now, where I see more of the young people. With her daughter, she's their quote unquote best friend, and they haven't known her 3 months, and then she can't get rid of them. I'm really talking about that trickle. It's really a trickle of water that turns into a tsunami. I'm telling you, it's devastating. It's like, it will sweep your whole life, mind, and everything else away. I'm for real. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I'm for real.
I'm really grateful that has not happened yet because, I would go crazy. I would go crazy. I think the Lord knows not to send that test my way because I would not handle it well.
And now we're talking about the past. And now, Angine, do you feel like that's something that you might have redone in the past? Like,
baby, let me testify.
And talk about what is something you would have redone from the past, and if not, why not?
That's some of what I would have redone from my past. I'm gonna tell you what. I look back, and I'm a Libra too. So my birthday is January the 7th. Shelly, you're October. I don't even know my birthday. October the 7th, and Shelly is October the 6th. I know. You're October the 6th or the 8th. I know we're one day different. I think you're before mine, right?
I'm the day before, yep.
Okay, so we have that Libra thing, and there is something about Libras that it's very relational, it's very connecting, it's very and usually has balance to it. Now, I'm gonna tell you what, this is what I learned from my past, and you said, would I change that, baby girl? Yes, and yes again. I would change that with a heartbeat, because at the end of the day, I look back now. And I'd have to address some of my brokenness that was going on at that time, some places that need to be healed at that time, mentally, physically, emotionally. There's a whole lot of stuff going on at that time. And so as I look back, that makes sometimes an easy target for these types of individuals. So when I look back, I was like, Lord Jesus, I was crazy, and everybody that was out there was crazy. So, if I had to do, and love everybody, Jesus loves everybody, and I do too. However, at the end of the day, and I look and I see how much of my life was consumed in that, and how much that was like 24 hours out of the day, that was 22 hours of it, and those other 2 hours I was maybe getting some sleep. Oh baby, no. I would not repeat that demonic stuff. No ma'am, I wouldn't repeat that.
So you feel like you've learned your lesson?
I hope so. And even now, I have, even in at the end of the day, I have somebody from that past life that wants to clown with me on my Facebook right now. And I'm like, we on two different dimensions, sweetheart. You in one world, I'm in a whole nother world. I will not be manipulated. I will not be controlled. You're not going to consume me with your negative energy. I'm past that. And I'm so over it. You're not going to drag me back. You're not going to make me feel some kind of woe is me because I'm trying to be your friend and you won't be my friend back. Listen, I'm still gonna be your friend at a distance because that's my choice. You're not gonna drag me someplace I don't want to go. Back in my day, baby, they would have been dragging me all around with the nose in my ring, like pigs. My dad and them, we had hogs, and they put that nose ring in that pig and just take them from left to, and not so much me following, but just not standing my ground and saying, you're not gonna take me there. You can go a lot of places, but you're not going to take me there.
Do you reflect on those times and get frustrated? I've had that experience as well. And when I reflect on those times, I get so frustrated with myself. Like, why did you even allow this to happen?
Absolutely. And I don't get frustrated as much now, Shelly, but there was a season in life where it was very frustrating. When I looked at my past, I saw depression. I saw everything I didn't want to see. And that sounds strange to some people because I was very jovial, outgoing, laughy, talky, But just because you're laughing and talking and jovial doesn't mean you're not depressed. So I look back on that now, and I during the healing phase, I actually had times I think I was angry with myself, but now I just realized it was part of the journey. I had to take that journey so I could learn it. So I don't beat myself down, but I learned it.
Mm-hmm. BTD mom said, with my past, I loom back and wonder how I got over it.
Yeah.
Shelly, do you have any instances that you look back and you wonder, where did I find the strength to get over that, or where did I get that information from to help me get through this issue?
I absolutely do. I look back and I'm like, because when you're in the moment, everybody's just like, oh, pray about it, you'll get over it, time will heal. But I'm kind of like you. I'm super analytical about the situation. So I look back and I'm like, I was praying and I was still so sad and frustrated, or whatever the case may be, whether it was like a breakup or a job opportunity that I lost or anything like that. I'm just, now when I reflect on it, I'm like, oh, that didn't even take long at all. That was 3 months where I felt like that, 4 months that I felt like that. But when I think about how I was in that moment, it's like, why didn't I have the strength to just keep believing and pushing? Like, even though I was still saying my prayers and hoping for the best, I still look and I'm like, I mean, I guess I did have the strength because I'm here today, but in the moment, it all felt so heavy on my shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When I look back on my past, I feel a lot of regrets. I feel like up to this point, I've made a lot of mistakes and a lot of things have not gone the way that I intended. Or a lot of times I feel like I'm 28 right now, and I feel like I don't have a lot to show for my years compared to some of the people some like my peers. So, from my past, I learned that, comparison is death because it keeps you just in the same cycle. If you keep comparing yourself, you're going to continuously be disappointed. And I learned that, everybody has their own journey. Something I like to do from my past is, like, if something didn't go correctly, like in a a specific situation, I like to look back at the things that brought me to the moment in that situation, and like in my mind be like, okay, oh, that's why that happened. Oh, okay, so I need to be in that spot for that to go down. Oh, okay, now this is making sense. And even though it's not what I intended, it's not what I wanted, I can kind of see what was going on and why things were happening the way that they were happening. So from my past, I'm more so just, be more kind to myself and give myself room to be a human. And
now, will you say that when you look back, you feel like you have regret, but like in the moment, did you feel happiness, or did you feel content with what comfortable or anything with what you were doing? Or do you feel like as you've been going through the motions of life, you've always had that like shoulder of guilt or regret for yourself?
I think it's a little bit of both. I feel like I've always had that shoulder of regret, but in the moment, it usually, most of the things that I regret, I felt like it was the right thing to do. Or I felt like, I was considering things, and in that moment, in that space, I feel like I made the right decision for my life at that time. But now, being a little bit older, I look back in hindsight and I'm like, okay, I should have done differently. But, I've seen
Are there things where you feel like they could have changed like the course of your life? Like if you had have done them differently,
100%.
You would be somewhere else today.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%. That's interesting.
It's so difficult to not be upset.
So do it now. Like, why can't you do it now?
Of course, you can do it now. You learned the lesson and you can press forward. But it's just
do it now.
Looking back on the time wasted. That's what, it just digs deep in me like, Marlena.
Yeah,
but
go ahead.
But you learn.
I fully understand that.
And really, I have to be honest with myself, and I had to think about, the person I was back then, the things that I wanted to do, would I have been successful at it? Because at that time, earlier or in the past, was I disciplined enough to do the things that I wanted to do? Did I have the right mindset? Did I have the right, did I have the things that I needed to be successful? Probably not. So that's why I like the idea of, like, one of my things is getting a college degree. I don't have a college degree. I'm not formally educated. And so I always wanted a college degree. And so the fact that I'm now and don't have one, for me, is I want to say it's a failure. I feel like it's a failure. And so, now that I'm 28, I have to either, come to terms with it or go ahead and pursue it. If I want it, then I can get it. So,
but here's the thing, you're not doing nothing. It's not that you have a college degree and you're just out here not doing anything. You have a career. Like, you have a passion that you're standing in and you're still chasing and you're achieving. So I think that I agree with you, and I know how you feel, because I was the same way for a while. But formal education was pushed so heavily on our generation for nothing, especially from a generation that produced the most dropout millionaires and billionaires. Like, the generation above us, the people who are like in their 40s through 60s now, you guys have the most dropout billionaires. But they pushed college on us so hard. And it's like, why y'all want us to get college degrees when everybody from your generation who's running the world right now dropped out?
Yeah.
But I know exactly what you meant. I can absolutely relate to how you feel.
I think that it's going to be for everybody. Obviously, there are different paths to, being successful, and whichever way you want to go. You can be successful without a formal college degree. But I just think for me personally, I wanted that. And so I had to just realize, you can't change anything in the past. You must only live in the future and just learn from it. So I have to learn to just not stay there. And if I want a college degree, I'm definitely capable of getting that.
You can go get it right now.
And it's possible, and it shouldn't be like a failure forward. It's just something I didn't get prior. So that's something.
Have you ever attended college?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I've tried.
You have.
Yes, we've tried a few times. We're not
So
quick.
you probably have some credits that you can compile and go to one of these like there's universities now that you can use like prior credits and life experience.
100%.
And you have to like take a test, and then it advances you in your degree to where you don't have to start all the way over and do the 4 years for a bachelor or whatever.
There are a lot of different programs now. It's a lot of different schools of thought on getting degrees now. So it's definitely possible. It's just a matter of which way do you want to go in your life. So
yeah,
kind of where I am. But I would like to know, as far as staying in the present, what do you guys, I think the present gets the least attention, because it's kind of difficult to stay in the present, because either you're looking at the past or you're planning for the future. But tell me some of the things that you guys do to stay in the present.
I think it's easiest the one thing that makes it easiest for me is kids. Kids don't let you dwell. They give kids. I think it's amazing to be a parent because your children really give you grace. Like, if I forgot to put my son's chicken nuggets in the oven, he'll just come back in 45 minutes and ask for them again. So it's like, and that's a simple example, but like, seriously, they don't let you dwell. And I mean, future planning with children is I want to say easy, but it's not really easy. I think you have to find your own routine and your own track. And the downside to that is when you get thrown off of your routine as a parent, it throws everything off. Like, you have to reset mentally, emotionally, and the physical routine of everything. And that can be very, very draining. So I think to stay in the present, I really rely on not only my children, but also I've been kind of doing the work with myself where I have to just like take a break. I will get really down on myself for similar reasons as you, because I've always wanted to go and get my bachelor's degree, or I feel like I should have a career by now, but I really have to sit to myself like, I will never get these moments back to just raise my kids, to give my kids the time that I always wished I had with my mom. Like, when I look back on my childhood and I think about the fact that my mom worked 2 and sometimes 3 jobs at a time to put food on the table, I hated it. Like, I appreciate now that I got to spend the time that I did with my grandmother. Mm-hmm. But back then I was always like, I just want to go home. I just want to see my mom. Like, I don't want to be doing this. And so now as an adult, as a parent, I do find myself doing the same thing. Like, I need to be working. I need to get a job. I need to just put these kids in daycare. But I have to really sit with myself and say, no, this is exactly what I should be doing. This is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. God granted me this opportunity because he know how I felt about wanting to have the time with my mother. So he gave me back the gift of this time to spend with my children. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I do catch myself taking it for granted and wanting to do other things. But it takes a conscious effort, I guess is what I'm trying to explain. It takes a conscious effort to say to myself, this moment, what I'm doing right now is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yes.
So don't try to chase the next thing. Although I never stop. In the background of what I'm saying, I'm always trying to chase the next thing. I just finished the certificate program and I'm always trying to look for, what can I do next? What can I get into? Like, but I do take the time to say, all right, even though I am trying to get into the next goal or complete the next goal, I'm also focused on what I'm doing here today, right now. Mm-hmm. Do you do that type of reflection? Like, do you take the minute to be like, all right, we're good here?
Yes. I feel like the past 2 years, actually since I've been in Texas, I've been doing a lot of self-work. And so I'm more so in a place of just being grateful for, being okay. So I think for me, the way that I stay present is I usually try to like start my day off with a prayer, or even if I don't start my day off with it, it'll just come to me at some time during the day, and I'll just, I'll just start saying what I'm grateful for. Thank you for this, thank you for that. And for me, that just makes me like stop, and it just kind of grounds me to that day. So where I can say,
Slow down the train tracks. I did not mean to interrupt you, but your sister just pointed out something very important. We're talking about you not being formally educated, and you are formally educated.
Okay. All right. Well, yes, my sister, Marshonda Willingham.
Slow down the train tracks, woman.
And she is a phenomenal cosmetologist. Absolutely phenomenal cosmetologist. She is mind-boggling with the stuff that she's able to do, both natural and processed here. And yes, she did go get that license. She is licensed, capable, and able. So she does have education. I appreciate Marshonda for bringing it out. I was just listening because I was going to listen to how y'all rolling. I'm just listening. But thank you, Shelly. And thank you, Marshonda. That is the truth. So kudos.
Yeah, so we have to acknowledge that while also saying, I understand you having the regret that you do have about not completing the personal goal of having a college degree. But don't ever discount yourself, girl.
Okay.
Because you got formal education.
Turn that thing around. Turn that thing around.
And talent.
Did we lose Lena? Did Lena take herself out for a second? Let's see what happened here.
Listen,
boy,
we're sticking y'all for a moment.
see, I tell you, we have a musical cameras going on here. I think our phone may have gone dead. I'm gonna think maybe that's what happened.
I think this maybe. I think it may be a very millennial trait. I don't know how you, what you're thinking about this conversation, Aunt Jean, but I have a lot of friends that I talk to who are like, well, I didn't do this. And I have to ask them like, okay, but are you happy with what you have done? Are you happy with where you were or where you're at now? And a lot of people do find themselves saying, well, yeah, I was happy when I did that. Or yeah, I'm happy now, but I still want to do this and I still want to do that. What do you think? Do you do that, or do you see people in your generation doing that a lot?
I have experienced that in the past, Shelly, and what I will say is one of the things that I tell myself, and that is that and this isn't my words, I've seen this out there, and so I've adopted to take it on for myself, but the concept that the present is a gift, that's why they call it the present. The present is a gift. That's why they call it the present. So I feel like I try to go daily with the idea that I have been given a gift of the right now and to live in the moment. And one of the other things that I like to say as well, and I've tried to use as a real mantra for myself, is the idea of as I go through life, I want to enjoy my breath. So it's not just to be in the rat race and on the rat wheel and constantly going, but every day I want to make a point to enjoy my breath. So there you have it. That's all I can say. I want to be able to enjoy my breath and as I go along the way. So hold on a second. Let me take this out. So that's how I try to deal with my daily. And to not let time get away from me. I was just saying to somebody today, I said, if 2020 taught me anything, it's that tomorrow's not promised and we need to pay attention. And it's not about what I'm going to do later on, but what am I doing right now and how can I enjoy the time that I have right now? What am I doing with the time that I have right now? How am I experiencing the time that I have right now and the present as a gift? That's why they call it the present. The present as a gift. What am I doing with that gift? Am I enjoying the gift or am I running right through it?
You have to enjoy the gift. I think that's kind of what I'm getting at is I find myself kind of like Lena was mentioning, getting really bogged down, but you have to, and you do sometimes have to remind yourself it's not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
Stephanie said, you've got to stop and smell the roses. Man, have we not heard that 1,000 times, but it's still so hard. I think everyone's so driven to, I don't know, like crush goals and get to the paper,
Yeah.
that you almost get caught up in it and you don't really stop and smell the roses as often as you'd like to, really.
Yes. So and my thing is, smell the roses while you can enjoy them, because baby, you can't smell the ones on your casket. And sometimes we run ourselves so hard that, you know, that is the only experience we give ourselves, is when we die. Boom, here come the roses. You can't smell those roses. So they come in truckloads, they come in bouquets, they do all of that, but you cannot enjoy that. Life is for experiencing and loving it right now, in the moment. And I think Lena said something very powerful, and she's trying to get back in the studio, but she said something very powerful, and that was, you know, the whole idea that we always are often trained to look at our past and either start ruminating and get stuck in it, or we're always pushing towards the future. What are we doing with the now? What are we doing with the now? And I think that's huge. We need to pay it some good attention, because the present, the gift of the present, is a gift, and we've got to enjoy our breath as we're taking this journey. Shelly, I'm gonna have you talk for just a second, and we're gonna see if we can get Lena back in the studio. I think she may be having some technical difficulties, and go ahead and share just whatever you want to share, sis.
No, you're okay. I was just gonna say that it's not lost on me either that as Black Americans, we've always been told, right, like that we have to work twice as hard to get half of what everyone else has. So we almost have I guess we were raised to feel like we have the responsibility that we did always have to be chasing goals. So it may be part of the reason why we think that being here and just enjoying the moment is not enough. Like, if you're not working on being successful, then what are you doing? And that's not only a trait of being Black. I'm sure it's a trait of, any generation to come. But I think it almost is a little bit more emphasized to our younger black people.
Yes. And you brought up a good point. I think particularly in our Black culture, we want to be successful. We want to compare ourselves, and Lena brought that up even in her own personal journey. How about yourself? How do you feel, and how do you deal with that whole that monster of comparison?
Oh man, I used to be really horrible at it. I used to be like, well, if I'm not running as fast as Stephanie in my gym class, then I'm not good enough. Or if I'm not reading as many books as Jerry, who's in the same honors course as me, then I'm not good enough. But I've grown out of that for sure. These days, I'm just like, you know what? They have their path. I have mine. We're not going to be running the same race because we have different goals. We're different people. So I'm not as bad as comparing my situation anymore. But as a teenager, I for sure was. As a teenager, I was always, I think, not only self-conscious, but also maybe a little jealous even sometimes of my peers. And it definitely affected me. Do you find yourself doing the comparison thing, Lena? I see that you're back.
Can you hear us, Lena?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear us, Lena? She must not be able to hear us. Let's see.
Oh no!
I know. I thought she said she cannot. She's having some.
What about you guys?
Can you guys hear me?
There you go. There you go.
Well, yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Uh-oh. We got some audio issues going on here. We're going to try to work through and figure them out here just real quick, fast, and in a hurry. Lena, can you hear me at all? No, that's obviously a no. There is no response there. So we're going to keep this party going. We got the...
no.
There is no response there.
Are you able to hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
our moderator is saying, Lena, to go out and come back in. So it look like I got everybody doing something here. Let's see. Okay, we're going to take a station identification just for a moment and try to get everybody back on track, and then we will be right back. Please enjoy this commercial. And we're back. Now, Lena, can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Here we go. Yes. Okay, let's keep this party rolling. Go right ahead. I'm so sorry. And to our viewing audience, I apologize. I don't know what the technical difficulties we are having with cameras on today, but we're going to keep this party going. I appreciate you all for hanging in there with us. Go right ahead. What were you saying, Shelly, when we interrupted, when we went out? What was going on? You were asking about comparison and comparing ourselves. Was that it? Okay, now Shelly is frozen. I just have no idea what's going on in here today. So let's see. Lena, okay, let's see. Oh Lord. We just can't get all of y'all on the same going ons here. This is really something. I'm not gonna resize. I'm gonna just try to see if Shelly can make it back in. And we're gonna try to get everybody in one last time here.
Okay, sounds good. Well, since we're waiting for us to see if Shelly comes back, I'm not sure how far back the statement was. Let me see if I can find it. I can't see the statement, but I did want to say that when we were speaking earlier about college degrees and my cosmetology license. I do have a cosmetology license, and I'm very proud of my cosmetology license. It has been a beautiful career that I've had throughout the years, and I'm grateful for the work that I do. And I don't discount it at all. I was just speaking about some of the things that I felt like were things that I would have changed from my past. And so I guess I would have went and got a formal degree if, thinking about it now, I would have spent more time on trying to get that so that I would have it at this point in my life. But it doesn't mean, just because I feel that way, it doesn't mean that I don't, am not proud or feel happy about having my cosmetology degree, because I am, and I'm grateful for the field of cosmetology because it has really been a blessing in my life. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm a people person, and so I love being around people and doing people's hair. It makes me feel like I'm taking care of everybody. So I love cosmetology, but I was saying that I also would have wanted to get a degree at this time in my life. So I just wanted to clear that up.
Got you, Lena. Got you. Can you hear us, Shelly?
Yes, I can hear you. And
Awesome.
I get what you mean completely. That's why I was saying, although you are formally educated with cosmetology, I do understand you still wanting to have the college degree, because that sounds like it's more of a personal goal. I don't think it sounds like that has nothing, very little, if I'm not going to say nothing, but very little to do with like status or like career, more as you just really set that goal for yourself and you want to achieve it.
Right, exactly.
Cool.
I love that. Do we
what
yeah.
I'm sure what I missed. I'm not sure, so I'm just gonna hop right on in there.
Jump on in there.
Mm-hmm.
Did we start to talk about the future?
No, not yet.
Not yet, no.
Okay, well, let's see. What do you guys feel about the future? Actually, what I would like to know is, what do you guys have planned for your future? Let's say in the next, or how do you take the future, and then what do you have planned for it?
Man, I have lots of different things going on. I'm all over the place, I keep saying, but I guess the most major thing that I'm doing right now is I'm trying to find this sounds so boring.
Well, it seems we lost Shelly once more and again, Lena. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to try to bring that back in. Let me see if I can get you going, because we seem to keep going in and out. I'm not sure what's going on with the cameras here. Let me get you sized up so the people can see you, and then what we'll do is go ahead and I think we've had a productive conversation today, but I don't know how much more we can get done under the current constraints. But we gonna make it, girl. We gonna make it.
How about this? We got through a lot. Maybe we can keep that next part for the next podcast. And I just want to give a shout out to my puffball that's on the screen now. It looks good. She's been growing for 10 years. Okay, now you see my
She's growing, girl. She's growing.
The puffballs, this is my pineapple. This is usually the state my hair is in. So yeah, you get a good look of it.
Get it, girl. Get it.
But yeah, we can keep that. We can continue this conversation in our next podcast. I thought we had a really good podcast this time. A lot of different comments. Thank you. Oh, it says, "Oh no." Also say you working that puffball. Well, thank you very much.
Come on, girl. Work.
Actually, my hair is about to go in some braids, so maybe the next time y'all see me, it'll be different. But yes, I love my puffball. It's been a good show. I think the past is something that we definitely can learn from and continue to look back with gratefulness and love for the people that we used to be, because of the persons that we used to be, we are the people we are today.
Yes.
And we can try as a Reboot community to try and stay in the present and live in the present and ground yourself to the present so that you're able to enjoy the life that you've been blessed with.
Yes.
And how about next week we can come back and we can do a recap on what's going on in our future, and we can do a recap on how you guys stay grounded this week coming.
We can do that.
We can do that.
We can do that. Thank you, Miss Stephanie. Listen, I want to stop in just a moment. Lena, you did a phenomenal job. You did an absolutely marvelous job. And I appreciate you. Here we go.
Thank you.
You did a great job. Shelly Welly did a great job. Absolutely phenomenal job. You guys are the business. Y'all the real deal. The real deal. The real deal. I appreciate you. I want to go ahead.
And give yourself some love too, AJ.
Oh, come on. I'm going to give myself some love. Okay, here we go. Phoenix Leor, thank you for that sub. I love you, love you, love you. Listen, you guys are doing an excellent job with Reboot. This is our 20-something age group, millennials telling life from their perspective. They are doing an absolutely bumper job. This topic is the topic that they chose to talk about. We're talking about the past. We're talking about the present. We're talking about the future and how all of that intertwines and interconnects with itself. I think they've done an absolutely marvelous job. I want to come out here and thank you all. Everybody that's in here. Mel Holiday, I appreciate you, sis. Man, I tell you what, it has been a marvelous time having you in here. Sheila Miles, SK8843, BT Mom, Royal Confessions, SK8843, Mino 3782. I saw you out there, sis, and I want to thank you. Miss Stephanie had some excellent input in here on today. Thank you so much for coming. Oh no, oh so man, I want you to know we appreciate you, folks. We appreciate you. And then I definitely got to give it up. Truck Driver 57 was in here. Everybody, Shelly Thunder. Y'all know I got to do this right. Shelly Thunder. Up above my head. I hear thunder in the air. There must be a Shelly Thunder somewhere. Yes. And then everybody else, Stacy 546 and others that were in here. I saw Kristen Nicole Jackson in here. I'm so glad you were in here. And Nancy Jackson, that's my good trouble. Everybody, I hope I didn't miss anybody. I think I probably did. Count it to my head and not my heart. Salute. Thank you so much for being in here. And I'm going to give the last word to Lena, Phoenix Leor. Again, listen, I got to give it up. I got to give you the props that you're due, sis. And Shelly Welly. Y'all did that thing. You did. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can get Shelly back. One more. And again, let me try this one more time and see. Oh, shoot. I'm trying to get her in. Lord Jesus, it just don't want to do right. Oh, Lord. Okay, I'm going to take her out just a second. Oh, man. I was hoping I could get her back in for one more good farewell, but that's okay. We'll get her the next time around. Lena, go ahead and close us out. We're going to have a good chat next week. 2 o'clock. Don't forget, 2 o'clock. We will be here with Reboot. Go ahead, Lena.
Listen. Also, listen, I will send you this puff. You can keep it, and guess what? You bring it back when you're done with it. Community family, thank y'all for rocking with us today. We had a good time, good conversation. Learn from the past, live in your presence, and plan for the future. We want to see y'all back next Friday at 2 p.m. We're going to have everything together. We're going to have another good conversation. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see y'all next Friday.
Now, those of you in Twitch, you hold on because my moderator is going to raid. Y'all hold on for the raid and ride that raid train. For everybody else, as we always say, I want you to have peace for your journey.
Growth, longevity, understanding, and integrity. Me and you, we on the road. Grass, top to top. Got a lot to learn in this life. And I'm excited. Gonna do it with my people like mine. How you gonna be when you need me? How you gonna be?